Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is the Silent K, and if you joined us earlier, then welcome back. We're playing some MekHQ today, and we're starting off by reviewing the reviewing the damage from the battle from earlier today, where me and Gribbly teamed up against the Princess bot, who was commanding a choir of Mani Domini mechs and battle armor Word of Blake units. I have decided that the damage and XP from that battle would be canonically part of the history of the Challenger Deep. Sadly, though, all of the salvage from that battle is 3060 tech, so we will instead be compensated in C-bills. So I hope no one has a problem with that. I don't know how anyone could, because I feel like we definitely earned the C-bills. So just to quickly recap, our Orion took a bit of armor damage, but nothing too major. The awesome one's 3060 tech. I'm sure it does. The Mark III Archer, ID number 4, suffered an ammo explosion and will not be recoverable. And it's a shame, too, because I feel like if it hadn't been for our edge, it might have survived. But the edge caused the, I believe it was a center torso critical location roll, was re-rolled to the left torso, which then obviously hit the ammo bin and obliterated the mech completely. So the Mark III Archer is a complete loss. The Angler, however, only took minor damage. The Wolverine took a substantial amount of damage as well, almost lost its right arm, went internal on the right torso, lost a heat sink. The Atlas, the Atlas took in some armor damage. If you caught the stream earlier, then you'd get that reference. If not, watch the earlier stream. You'll get it then. The Guillotine took a fair amount of armor damage, but nothing too major. Lost an actuator, but I mean, considering the scope of the battle, I would say we got off pretty light. Thunderbolt took some armor damage, nothing major, and the Rifleman lost its right torso. And at first, I thought this mech was pretty much toast, but looking at it, honestly, it's really just the right torso and the center torso that we need to worry about. Once we get those fixed, the right arm should go back on relatively easily. And other than that, it's all just armor damage. And this medium laser, of course, that was in the right torso. And again, I'm just glad that the center torso didn't crit the ammo, which would have been very bad. Oh, hey, Gribbly. Glad you could join us. Just going over the damage that we took. Let's see, Earl took one hit, nothing we can't recover from. Some of these battle armors and which one? One of the mechs should have escaped, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I am mistaken though. The Seraph? Yeah, the Seraph would have escaped. Definitely. With a busted hip, is not going to immobilize the mech. Or use the Lark option. Oh, Silent Endus, hi, how's it going? Glad you could join us. I don't know if you saw the stream earlier, but me and Gribbly wiped out some Comstar mechs. And this is the toll. Now, that's fair amount of value salvaged, and any value that's left over at the end of the contract will be cash. So it's not a total loss. We did, that's what, that Archangel is worth a lot of C-bills. What's going on with that? Oh, probably because it's got a compact engine and a compact gyro. Those are probably worth some big money. The heavy PPC. And obviously this is all stuff that we can't use in 3046. but again, we will be reimbursed the cash value of it because we did earn it. Because again, everything that happened during that battle was is now canonically part of the Challenger Deep's history. The Phoenix Hawk was FH. Oh, Forlorn Hope. So not salvaged, not ransomed. Escaped. So yeah, that's 500,000 C-bills that we don't get because that was our allied unit. Thanks for pointing thanks for pointing that out for me. Comstar has that kind of tech. You can steal it from them. Yeah, but we're on a pirate hunting mission right now, so it's kind of a gray area in my opinion. So we'll get the money for it, but other than that, it's just going to be the XP and the repairs that we have to worry about. And if we did capture anyone, excuse me, and it doesn't look like we did capture anyone. And in fact, there's only one KIA on the whole list as well. So that's interesting. So Frederick French got a kill in the Archer before it went up. The Rifleman got a kill. That's Lieutenant Zero Chu. And Vernita got a kill in the ID1 Archer as well. So that's 3 XP for kills plus 1 per pilot for deploying. And we are going to call this a decisive victory because we Comstar are pirates, in my opinion. They're looking for clans. We can go with that. The only thing is that we're not going to get to keep 3060 tech, X-Pulse lasers, and compact engines in 3046. We're going to have to wait until we advance the timeline a bit before we have access to that kind of technology. Let me check my notes. Oh, before I forget, I do have some shoutouts. I forgot to do this last week. We have Upwout and Tentacle Shogun joined us on the Discord, as well as Wraith676 and Chad E joined us on YouTube. So, compact engines aren't that exciting. Money is probably better. Hey, I agree. That's millions of C-bills right there. Checking my notes some more. I did spend some XP off camera. Let me back up a step. We did maintenance on the Hoser's ride. We got some parts in. We did some repairs. We did some salvage. We've got some refits going on. The Mackie's going to be a while. The Atlas is going to be forever. The Cronus is getting a double heatsink upgrade. The Quick Draw is getting refitted to be more of a melee mech. Warhammer's going to be a little bit. Banshee's going to be a little bit. And you may notice that there are some SRMs in the procurement list because I noticed that we didn't have any. And there's rather a prodigious number of SRM4s for a specific reason. One of the archers that we have, I was planning on doing something with, and I'll get to that in just a second. We did salvage a bunch of stuff. Aaron McKimmey improved his administration skill, and I could have sworn I had done more than that. So let me perhaps try mass personnel training. Soldiers, ultra green. Green, did I maybe do this on a different day? Because I was expecting to see it in the daily log. Perhaps I already did that. Okay, so soldiers have gotten their XP spent. Aaron McKimmey got his XP spent. I mentioned during the stream earlier that where'd he go? Frederick French now has 25 XP, and he had expressed a wish that he spend that XP on piloting. So he is now a 3-3 pilot, and is in fact how many points? 35 points away from being an elite pilot. Now, considering that he was in an archer, which has battle fists, and he is now even piloting and gunnery, I had discussed with him the possibility of modifying one of these archers to be more of a close-range combatant. I had been messing around trying to figure out how I could take the lasers out of it because he is specialized in missiles. And what could I do with 4 tons worth of medium lasers that wasn't, that was missile oriented? And I couldn't really find anything until I pulled all the weapons out and I said, okay, what weapons can I fit in this 28 tons worth of space that the Archer has available? And what I ended up coming up with, actually, and I came up with 2 different versions of this. There is the SRM6 version, which has 42 SRM tubes, which is a lot. The only thing is, and I was thinking about its heat profile, because it has 28 heat worth of SRM tubes, plus 2 for running, is 30 heat with 26 heat sinking capability. So it could potentially build up 40 points of heat in one turn. Or if it kept one of the SRM6s silent, it would be able to be heat neutral on a run or cool down on a walk. I decided, mainly because of the ammo concerns, that SRM4s would be more efficient. It does run a bit hotter. It has 1 more heat sink, but 2 less SRM tubes. It only has 40 SRMs instead of 42, divided into 10 SRM4s, which produces 30 heat on its own. So on a run, we would build up 4 heat again. Wait, is that how it worked out? 3 times 10, 32. Okay. So yeah, it can fire all 40 SRMs and build up 4 points of heat, or if it keeps one of the SRMs silent, it would still build up 1 point of heat on a run. Shame you can't use MMLs. I agree. There are a lot of missile options that become available later, but for right now, we are limited to SRMs and LRMs. I don't think even MRMs are available at this point in time. But the main difference I feel like between the SRM6 version and the SRM4 version, the SRM6 version is only capable of firing up to but no more than 10 turns worth, and that's if it overheats rather significantly. Is that right? I don't remember if that's right, to be honest. But it maxes out at 10 turns of firing if it keeps one of the SRM6s silent. This one is able to fire for at least 10 rounds if it, because it's firing on average fewer SRMs per turn, and also because it has 100 SRMs per ton versus 90 SRMs per ton of ammo. So it does have about 10% more missiles to launch in the first place, and it's also firing them slightly less per turn. So I had been planning on going with the SRM4 version after some deliberation. But that is going to wait until we have the parts in stock, which is going to be at least a couple of days. Okay, so what other things had I wanted to do? I still have experience to spend on Petra, and I had said last week that we had just enough leadership for the mech warriors that we have, because I was thinking it was 10 personnel of each type, plus 2 per point of leadership that we were allowed to have. That is actually incorrect. It is 12 personnel is the base plus 6 per point of leadership. So with a leadership of 1, we can actually take 18 of each type of personnel. However, we have 29 mech techs. So I am going to resolve that by spending all of Petra's XP on leadership until such a time as we actually have 3 points of leadership, which would be enough to have 30 mech techs. And at that point, we will start expanding again. But until we have another point of leadership, we're not allowed to have any more mech techs, which I think is a good compromise. MMLs are 3068, MRMs appear in 3052, but reach production in 3058. Common by 3063. Clan Streak SRMs would be tasty if you could get the salvage. That is absolutely true. I would love to get my hands on some Clan Streak SRMs, or even some regular Clan SRMs, because they weigh half as much. Same thing with LRMs. I would love to get my hands on some Clan LRM 15s for that Stalker, for example. I do actually have a variant of the Stalker that uses mixed tech. It has Clan ER mediums, it has Clan LRMs, and I think Clan SRMs, and it is just absolutely beastly. That's a ways off in the future, though. We're still about 3 years away from the clan invasion, which we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. Who else? Don Gato, aka Tsubasa. I had noticed he's been saving up for a point of gunnery, and he now has enough XP for a point of gunnery. He is now a 3-5 pilot in this blackjack. So, that is all very well and good. Earl will be out for 3 days because of a laceration on his head that he took in that last mission. He's already got a Purple Heart, so we're not going to be awarding that. I did go through off screen and make sure that everyone had the appropriate awards. Everyone who's wounded has Purple Hearts. Everyone who's seen combat action has the combat action award. And everyone, remind me, which award is this? This is the Galactic War on Pirating. Everyone who has partaken in a mission for this contract, which is so far these two, has the Galactic War on Pirating award. And actually, now that I believe should be, yes, even Mariana Lance should have the Galactic War on Pirating award, which is right down here. That's good for another XP for everyone who didn't have that up until this point. So let me see. And then where is Frederick French? Also needs that because he is now mechless. At least until we get him into another archer. And it's a good thing that we have spares. We actually have, besides the one that Petra, Ash, and Vernida are piloting, we do have a spare archer Mark III that we can assign French to, which actually is the mech that we were planning on modifying once we got those SRMs in. So that's going to be a little bit of a hiccup, being down to, I guess, 4 archers instead of 3 archers down from 4. So yeah, that's going to be a little bit of time before it's going to be combat ready once we get those SRMs in. So we do have, these guys are not supposed to be in the field workshop. They are supposed to be in a transport bay. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now, that can't be right because we had 8 mechs on that last mission. Are some of them still deployed? Is Galatea Lance? We're not going to be able to repair Galatea Lance until they return from their deployment on the on this hex, which is going to be, if I'm not mistaken, another 2 days, because I think they've been out for 1 day already. But in the meantime, we do have some armor repairs that we can work on. We do have some reloading that needs to be done. We're going to have Penny do that because she has just the right amount of time for it. Denise Antonio has 8 XP. Not the one I want doing reloads. I want Ratnabala, I think, is going to be doing reloads. Let me see, Ratnabala doing reloads. Yeah, this archer was already badly damaged and is in the process of being repaired already. It's a shame I don't have another 150-minute tech available. Creon, is that Creon or Chian? I don't know. I'm not good with foreign pronunciations, and I apologize. We can have a couple of green techs replacing these actuators. At ×4, it works. It just does. We'll have B do that. And oh goodness, we have no more jump jets for 70 tons. So we're going to go ahead and order all, which gets us 2 on the way. And then I want at least 4 more. Let's make it 5 just in case. And then a foot actuator as well. We'll have Randabala do that as well, because that should leave her with 30 minutes, which is enough to do 2 reloads. So we can have her do the Wolverine. And I guess the Alice is actually gonna need more reloading than just that. We'll have Salman go ahead and spend another hour doing that. Wrong rifleman. Okay, this is a salvage rifleman that we picked up. So we do have another rifleman in Galatea Lance that's going to be arriving. It needs a lot of work. This one was also salvage. So let me just knock out some armor repairs and get these guys off of the list. Oh, 11 minutes too far. We'll have veterans doing armor just because I like those low target numbers, but honestly, Halima on a 6, we can do that. We can have Kai here spend 100 minutes on that. Let's spend a little extra time on that. We'll have Keon do that. And I don't think we want to try and do that on a 7. I think I'd rather try that on a 6. We'll have Oliver, I guess, work on that. Have Kostya work on. We'll have Monroe work on that. And that should be relatively easy for, oh, a 7. It's low quality. Quality D is worth a +1. We have a veteran. We can try that. So that's going to be another couple of days. No big deal. We will have... Ooh, what do we got here? try to do that. We'll try to do that twice. And then we'll do, how do we do this? We'll take 2 tries on that? No, just 1. 19 points of armor lost. Well, that's a shame. Okay. Oh, I didn't realize I was doing that on a 7. So that's 1 mech off of the repair list. The Orion is in progress. This Archer is a work in progress, waiting on jump jets. Wolverine is a work in progress. Rifleman is a work in progress. This Wolverine is going to need a torso and an arm. We can go ahead and have one of our green techs replace this ammo bin. And then might as well have, I guess, Shadha reloaded as well. So it's really just the arm and the torso we're waiting on for this Wolverine. And then we can start putting on the arm. We've got the leg in progress and the cockpit in progress. Okay. So next is just going to be tanks. The Saladin is in progress. The Scorpion will have Sabra start working on this engine. That's going to be about a 3-day job. We'll have these guys knock out some stabilizers real quick. That's going to be a couple of days. We'll try to salvage some SRMs. And that leaves us Doodles with 54 minutes. And I don't think there's going to be a whole lot we can do with 54 minutes. Except maybe some minor armor repairs. It's 48. 33, 30, 18. It's also 48. Okay, well. Come on, Doodles. Roll higher than a 6, please. So that is all of our tech time for the day. That is, random guy needs some medical attention before we advance the day. Let's see, how are we at financially? We're doing pretty well. All things considered, historically speaking. Mech lab is empty, infirmary and repair, those are taken care of. Warehouse is taken care of. The hangar, it's nothing to do there until those SRMs arrive. Personnel, we're good there. Interstellar map, for anyone who needs a refresher, we are pretty close to the Terra. Pretty close to Terra, the center of the inner sphere. Making our way northward. We started somewhere down here. So over the course of a year and a half or so, we've made it from like this neighborhood to right here. So we're pretty much on schedule, I would say. And I think we're ready to advance the day. We shouldn't have any unmaintained units, I was gonna say. So these guys are all salvaged. Those are going to remain unmaintained. Other than that, it looks like we're good to go. So we can ignore this warning for right now. It's not something I do lightly. Oh, and it is the 1st of October. I had totally missed the fact that that was going to happen. Enemy morale is now low. And we got a civilian mech, an Eisenfaust. A primitive Eisenfaust with a primitive cockpit and primitive armor, which is a 45-tonner with an autocannon 10 and a large laser and the speed of 2-3. That is abysmally slow, but if I'm not mistaken, there should be an up-teched version of it. And just compare these side by side here real quick. Okay, so the newer Eisenfaust is also a 3.5, which is, again, abysmally slow for its weight class. Also has 10 single heat sinks, which is not going to be enough for a large laser and these 3 weapons as well. So we would want to give that some double heat sinks as soon as possible. Although, I mean, for a 45 tonner, an autocannon 10 and a large laser is a heck of a punch. But again, it's a 3.5. Do we just sell the Eisenfaust? Is it worth upgrading? How much can we sell it for? 1.1 C-bills or thereabouts. Do we want an Eisenfaust? I don't think we do. Yeah, we'll take the money instead. That puts us at 74 million, which is nice. What else have we got? We've got... It's not a Monday, so we don't have the personnel market. We do have a lot more XP being distributed. Everyone who rolled a 10 or better on their monthly roll. A lot of these are privates, so infantry, which I'm not too concerned about. But like Zero Chew had got an XP. Let me just real quickly sort everyone in the unit by XP. And again, with the latest update, this is not in numerical order for the XP, it's an alphabetical order. So you will see things like, where is it? Like a 39 and a 31 coming after a 4, but before a 3, which is pretty counterintuitive to me. I wish they wouldn't have done that, but hopefully they fix that in the next release. Hikari Ono is 1 XP away from another point of negotiation, which I believe will come in handy, even as a logistical admin. I forget what they reroll with negotiation, but I'm pretty sure they reroll something. We shouldn't be able to spend, yeah, that's going to be 40. So scrolling down, I know I saw 20 on the list. Someone who had just picked up their 20, no. She's going to need 40 to go up. Bunch of infantry sitting at 10 XP. Mostly regulars. We do have a green mechanic who's about to go up. And real quick, let me just see if there's anything else going on. No ultra green soldiers, a couple of green soldiers, no regulars, no veterans, and probably no elites. Yeah. So for all the XP that we gained, we really only gained 3 skill points, and 2 of that is small arms. So not a great month for XP, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm not going to turn down free XP, not by a long shot. The Orion is fixed, the Archer got its gyro fixed, and Chris gained an XP for that. The Wolverine is getting an arm, the Rifleman's getting an arm, Ash's Archer got its leg back on, barely, and another XP for Veronica Hurst. Tanks getting worked on, refits, nothing special there. 480 minutes left on each of those should be. We did clear out the procurement list, so we should have a bunch of SRMs coming in over the next few days. We did get paid 9.5 million C-bills, and we paid out 500,000 C-bills, so that's a net gain of 9 million C-bills, which is certainly better than a kick in the teeth. We do have tech time again, so let's go ahead. Oh, and we also have, it looks like, Galatea Lance is back, so we're going to go ahead and put them in transport bays. And we can start fixing up those guys, especially this Rifleman, which kind of got its butt whooped a little bit. Let's go ahead. We'll spend more than a day on that. just so that we can get that 4+ mod, because that is the center torso. The gyro, can we do that on a... I really want that to be a 5. I don't want to have to pay for a new gyro. So we'll have Chris start on that, and that'll eat into some of tomorrow's time. And then the right torso, we're probably gonna have to scrap that. Double heat sink right torso. Okay, so that's this guy. Oh, misclicked. We'll have, can we have a green tech do that on a 5? I'd rather have a regular tech do that on a 4. Yeah, we'll have Sosik do that. And now we can replace the right torso. And that is gonna be a 2-day job for anyone. More likely a 3-day job, because we don't have anyone with a full day today. 7. 7 is not great. 7 is pretty bad, actually. Oh man, my kingdom for an elite tech. I think other than replacing armor, that's going to be about all we've got on the rifleman. Let's go ahead and replace some armor then while we're at it. Okay, so that's all we can do with the rifleman right now. The guillotine took a little bit of internal damage. Random guy, hey, how's it going? I'm glad you could join us. I don't know. Yes, absolutely. You're on your Windows machine so that you're not on the VPN. I should have changed my settings to where you could chat with the VPN. I don't know if you tried or not. But I thought I had changed my settings to where it was less restricted. So if you'd like to try chatting using your VPN, I would invite that. I did. Oh. Twitch is just trying to stop ban evaders. There are trolls. Yeah, I know there are trolls. Undeniably. It is a shame that you can't chat on your VPN, but I'm glad that you were able to make it, at least. Glad to have you with us. Right now we're just doing some... I don't know if you've been able to watch the proceedings, but we're recovering from the battle against the Word of Blake. And it's going to be just a little while before we're ready to go again. Minutes and it's still... okay, well, we'll spend 100 of tomorrow's minutes. Blankists are terrible. Yes, and that is why we must eradicate them with extreme prejudice. Okay, so that's all of our veteran techs accounted for. 105, we'll spend 100 on that. Nope, we're gonna lose 20 points of armor. How about if we have 20 minutes left over? Sure, that works. And then we've got 40 and 50 makes 90. And I guess we'll have B do this 30-minute job, and the guillotine is next to finished. Now we've got some green text that can do these actuators. I'm sure I've got someone who can replace this armor. Nope, we just lost 30 points of armor. That kind of stings a little. Just a little. But Ash's Archer is 2 jump jets from being completely fixed. Green techs. Who has the least? Ratnabala is our reloading tech. And, you know, honestly, 41 shots is plenty of SRM2 ammo. Like, for real. Likewise, 188 is plenty of shots for the machine gun, so we're not going to bother replacing those. As frustrating and annoying as it is for me to have mechs on the repair list because they haven't been reloaded, it is something that I'm willing to put up with. Alright, could someone please replace this armor for me? Thank you. Why is Renita above this corporal? I thought normally it sorts them by the amount of time they have left. I don't know why it's not doing that. Work in progress, work in progress. This one's lower priority because it's a salvage mech, but we'll go ahead and fix that leg. We're working on the cockpit. We're not working on anything else, apparently. The torso and the arm, I'd like to wait until we have some veterans to do that. Sensors will be done tomorrow. Engine will be done tomorrow. Sensors the next day. We'll go ahead and have... Oh, we'll fail to do that. How about Hanlon? Can Hanlon pull an SRM2? Thank you. We'll have Curdy work on the engine. We'll have Maria work on the sensors. And we'll have, I guess, Pascal do these. We'll have Doodles working on the armor, because I kind of want... Maybe it's because he was part of the original crew, but I really want to see Doodles become a veteran. Rank. Gribbly and him beat down some Comstar units earlier today. Yes. And it cost us an archer and a fair amount of armor. Advanced tech that we were not allowed to keep, unfortunately. We got compensated for it. We got compensated millions of C-bills for it, but we didn't get to keep, you know, X-pulse lasers and compact engines, because that's above our timeline. So, sad to say, no, we did not get to keep any of that delicious high-tech salvage that was on the field, because I decided that it would be unfair. So if you want to blame anyone, you can blame me. And what the heck, we'll do that too. So that is all of our tech time for today. Random guy's gonna be another couple days. Can we, hold on. Okay, Mariana Lance is still in repair. Tonga Lance is in reserve. Galatea Lance is still being worked on. So I don't want to have all of our lances accounted for. I'd like to keep at least one in reserve because they might launch an attack and I want to be able to respond to it. So that is one more day advanced. Moving on to Friday. Maintenance on the Wolverine. Oh, wrong button. Get details. Oh, that is ugly. I'm seeing E's, I'm seeing a bunch of D's, and only a couple of B's. That's still waiting for some elite techs. We got some parts in. We did fix the center torso on the rifleman. We fixed the gyro on the rifleman, which is good. Fixed the armor on the guillotine. Right arm on the Wolverine is a work in progress. The left arm on the rifleman is reattached. We salvaged a bunch of parts. Doodles failed to get the stabilizer off of the Scorpion. And he didn't even get any XP for it. We do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mechs being refitted right now, and that will be 8 probably here in the next couple of days. I did notice we had 3 SRM4s, so we really only need 7 more to get started on the refit for Wyvern's Archer, which is going to be a close-up monster with 40 SRMs. It's going to be glorious. In the meantime, all we're still working on is these repairs. The rifleman should be done tomorrow. The archer is going to be a little bit until we get those parts in. The Thunderbolt is not getting reloaded because SRM2s and machine guns aren't worth reloading. Let's see, the Wolverine might be done tomorrow. The 6R Wolverine. Wait, the 6M is the one we took out. The 6R is the one we recovered. And it is... Do we have a veteran with full-time yet? Tamalika. Can we get started on this right torso, perhaps? It's going to be a couple of days, but that's fine. The Saladin is done being salvaged. We can go ahead and sell that, what's left of it, for a whopping 3,500 C-bills. The Scorpion is going to be another couple of days there. The APC is going to be another day. The Saracen will have Hanlon, since he's got more XP, do that. We'll have Ayana do that. What we got? Pascal, Doodles. Doodles doing the stabilizer. Do we have another stabilizer for Doodles? We do. We can get started on that. We'll have Pascal do an SRM2 and fail miserably. And then just out of curiosity, we do 5s on those? Yeah, we can do like 3 of those on 5s. So we can't get tech beyond our timeline, but we earned it. I guess if Comstar had it, is it technically in this timeline? Well, they were like 3060 tech. And we did earn a fair amount of money and some XP. Speaking of which, random guy, where is Earl? Why are we not sorted by role? We need to be sorted by role at all times. Oh, so many soldiers. Earl is 1 XP away from being a regular pilot. And I can't wait, because honestly, that piloting 6 is such a thorn in my side. At least it feels like it. So that's all of our mech techs occupied. That is all the work we can do on mechs at the moment. Alright, so Tonga Lance is ready for action. Mariana, not so much. Galatea's just waiting on this rifleman. 3N Mark II. What are we waiting on for that? Right torso. Should be done tomorrow. And then we can start working on reattaching this right arm, which is going to be a couple of days in itself. So yeah, short answer, yes, we did earn a bunch of stuff, but we did not earn the right to advance the timeline beyond where it's supposed to be. Snyder, hey, how's it going? There's rare randomly generated missions where you can scrounge some SLDF lost tech, but that's not really future tech. Yeah, I don't remember what all was involved in, just off the top of my head, in that last mission, but it was, there were compact engines, there were snub-nosed PPCs, heavy PPCs. I know Gribbly's mechs had X-pulse lasers, so a bunch of like Jihad and later era tech, I believe. I'm less familiar, but it was stuff that definitely doesn't belong in 3046. Okay, so once we get the rifleman fixed up, the rifleman's going to be another couple of days. We did get an SRM4. We did maintenance on this archer, which did not go very well at all. Wolverine's going to be another little while. That really stinks. I was hoping to get the right torso on the rifleman today. Because here in another couple of days, we're going to be subject to more random missions that happen sometimes on Mondays. B, can we do that? Okay, we got one of the jump jets in, so that's cool. And we'll have, I guess, Susan working on this left arm on a 7. Maybe we'll get lucky. The Scorpion's going to be a little bit. The APC, we can go ahead and sell that for all of 62 C-bills, looks like. Yeah, well, we got it off the roster at least. Saracen will have that and that, or not. We'll have Sabra start on the engine. We'll have Hanlon. I don't want Hanlon doing stabilizers. And then we can have Maria do a stabilizer, or 2 tries. Doodles. Mainly for the XP, not so much because I necessarily need machine gun ammo. We'll have Lori try to salvage that. Alright, so let me see here. Earl Sinclair is going to have a laceration on his head for another 5 days. Let me just check how many SRM4s we have. Oh, we've got some parts that need repairing. It was SRM4s that we were looking for. We should be looking at, what is that? That's 6. We'll get 3 in tomorrow and the 10th one in the next day. All right, so in 2 days, we're going to start refitting the other archer. In the meantime, it is now going to be Sunday. So we got those 3 SRM4s in. Wolverine's going to be... Yeah, how much time are you actually spending? Oh, you're not getting your full 480. That might be why that's taking so long. Amelia is working on sensors. Lori, Sabra is working on an engine. We did get the right torso on the Wolverine. We got the cockpit on the Wolverine. That's good. Maria was able to get the stabilizer off. Doodles failed to salvage an ammo bin, which is unfortunate. Doodles never seems to be able to do anything that requires 5 or better when it's an overnight job. Every time I see a red failed in the daily log at the beginning of a new day, it's always Doodles. Is that just me? Or is that actually how it is? Is he just unlucky? Or is it just my perception? Chris spent Edge getting the right torso on the rifleman, but hey, that was absolutely worth it. Because now we can start getting everything else. We can get this arm on here, maybe. We'll have Veronica. Loney. Does Loney have Edge? Let me just check. Loney does have Edge, which is good, because I don't want to break this arm. And he would have to roll Snake Eyes twice in a row in order to break the arm with a point of Edge. So that works. Sergeant Penny, please and thank you. Let's have one of our regulars with a little XP do the medium laser. And can we get a green tech to do this heat sink maybe? Cool. All right, so the rifleman is half a day from being finished, which is outstanding. Vernita should be able to get this jump jet in on a 5, so that's the Archer done. That's the Thunderbolt done. The Wolverine is almost done, and the 6R is low priority, but we can, well, do we work on that or do we hold off? Let me check the TO&E real quick. So the Rifleman's not ready yet. Wolverine's not ready yet. The 6M. Okay, so the Rifleman and the Wolverine should both be ready tomorrow, but for today, we've got all the time in the world. Malika, can we get this right arm back on, please? And while we're at it, we'll go ahead and set these up for some green text to work on those. Ratnabala, sure, okay. So that's one more thing that's almost off the list. Doodles, can we get this ammo bin, please? Thank you. We'll have you work on that. We'll have you work on that. Hanlon, who has the XP closest to going up a level, will start doing stabilizers. Pasquale might as well do some stabilizers as well. Lori can go ahead and start on these sensors on a 4, because that's going to be a 3-day job regardless. Maria might as well start on the engine. That's going to be another 3 days. And Doodles, I don't trust you on a 5. All right, moving on to Monday. I'm wondering if we picked up. Okay, so we've got the personnel market. We've got a veteran aerospace pilot, but she comes with a Sholigar, which we're not interested in at this point. 2 medium lasers. The 10th SRM4 has arrived, so this Archer that Wyvern is in. Oh, do we want to do that or do we want to wait, actually? I had been planning on refitting the 4th Archer when we had one spare, but we no longer have one spare. But Wyvern is absolutely specialized in missiles. So let me just check how long it's going to take. 9720. So that's 21 days until the roll, and another 21 days after, depending. Green MekTech needs a 12. No, I really don't want an Archer out of action for 41 days. Pila. That's good on an aerospace pilot since they have to make control rolls. You're referring to Sheila McKelly, natural aptitude piloting. That actually is really interesting. I didn't notice that when I first looked at it. The only thing is, she does come with a Sholigar, and so if anything happens to her, she's gonna want that back, or her family will if anything happens to her, like, finally. You need to keep checking for good mechs on sale. You have money now, maybe an Annihilator with 6 PPCs. Is that a thing? Are you serious? Let's go ahead and check the unit market. Just max, thank you. Stalker 4N. The 4N sacrifices an LRM-10 for heat sinks, it looks like. Versus the 3F, which we can throw double heat sinks on and turn into a true monster. They're both 90% cost. We're not interested in paying above market value for an Orion or a Griffin. We already have a Blackjack. We're not interested in the black market. We've been burned too many times before. Wasps are too fragile, and the Panther... Don't we already have a Panther? I think we do. I think we're holding on to a Panther for when we start trying to break into light mechs. No, we've got a Firestarter and a Jenner are the only 35 tonners we have. If you don't want to use the SL21 she comes with, you can just mothball it and assign her to one of your fighters. That's the thing though, is we don't have any fighters. And I don't know if it's worth trying to break into the aerospace game with one fighter. I mean, we do have 3 pilots and a tech. We just don't have any fighters for them to fly. I don't know. Generally, I don't normally hire people who come with their own unit, and that's just because that can lead to a very rapid expansion of the unit. Like if I hired every pilot who came with a mech or a fighter, we would have more mechs and fighters than we knew what to do with. So I just generally tend to avoid that in the first place. But she is a heck of a pilot. She is arguably as good a pilot as this Scott Enriquez is. Yeah, let's go ahead and hire her, and we'll have our aerospace tech spend as much time as humanly possible maintaining it. We're going to set extra maintenance time. We're going to set that to ×4. And we're going to assign a tech, our only aerospace tech, and we'll see how that goes. We could put them in front of Larka's bullet sponges. But then when their mech gets shot out from under them, we would be responsible for replacing that mech. And I'd rather not do that. I'd rather have our own mechs that we're not responsible to anyone for. Carpethice, hey, how's it going? Glad you could join us. We've just been doing a bunch of repairs lately, and we just hired an aerospace pilot who came with a Sholigar. Wait. Tamalika Diesel. Oh, broke the right arm on the Wolverine. How is that going to go? Reattach mech right arm. Impossible. Oh, man. What a time to roll Snake Eyes. Okay, so we're going to salvage everything out of the right arm. Oh, that's super lame. Wait, yeah, that was the 6R. This is the impossible to repair one. I'll have Fred do that. We've got regulars. We've got regulars that can do this. We've got green techs that can do actuators. And ammo bins. And now I have to replace the arm entirely instead of just reattaching the one it already had. That is such a pain. And I don't want Chris doing it. I want to save her for something where I need the edge. And actually, the 6R is not the one we're using. I too prefer to avoid hiring people to come with their own mech, vehicle, fighter, etc. Yeah, I agree. I personally like keeping one fighter on hand to use as ground attack to soften up the enemy before my mechs get to them. Just keep them away from riflemen and Orions or anything with AA targeting quirk. Honestly, there are a lot of mechs that don't have the AA targeting quirk that are still absolutely brutal against aerospace target. Pretty much anything with a long-range weapon that does significant amount of damage. That's, you know, LRMs are bad for fighters. Autocannon 5s, even, you know, ones that aren't attached to a rifleman or a MegaMek. Why did I mention the MegaMek? The MegaMek reminds me of the rifleman in a bunch of ways, but I don't believe it has the AA targeting quirk. But those autocannon 5s, I don't know. I don't have a lot of respect for the MegaMek. It just doesn't have enough armor for me. It feels kind of useless compared to the rifleman. You know what I mean? Work in progress. So we can scrap the Saracen, or sell, I should say, for all of 5,000 C-bills. So the Scorpion's a work in progress. Scorpion's a work in progress. We'll have these regulars do these medium lasers. And we'll have Doodles do the machine gun, because why not? And the cargo bay door is going to be a 5-day job for someone. Okay, so that'll be done tomorrow. So the Wolverine is the only mech that's actually down, which means we can have Galatea Lance go ahead and wait a minute. What role is Galatea Lance in? Scout Lance. Did we want to change that? Did we want to put Mariana in the scout role? I think that was the plan, actually. Since we have to have one lance in the fight role, I want it to be the one with no NPC or with no PCs. I want the ones with the player characters out there in the scouting role. So tomorrow we'll start doing more recon. That's the plan. MegaMek does have AA targeting. I, for some reason, was thinking it didn't. But thank you for pointing that out. Maintenance on the LRM carrier. That's not so bad. Only one red line. Right arm is fixed on the Wolverine, so that mech is ready to roll. So all of the mechs we're actually using, except for Earl, is 2 days out with a laceration. But in the meantime, we can have Tonga Lance go ahead and scout here. Cool. And that's going to be a 3-day mission because this contract kind of sucks that way. Yeah, the pain train. What else? What else? What else? That's not worried about. Well, you know, Chris might as well start putting one of the arms on here. And I think Lonnie had edge, so we'll have him start doing the other. All right. That's work in progress, and we'll have, I guess, Pascal do that because he's got the least amount of XP. And that Scorpion with a cargo bay door. I guess it does have a ton of cargo space. So interesting. And that's all we can do for this day. I see red. Rifleman 3 in. Okay, yeah, because we're spending all the extra time in the world is actually improving in quality, except for this armor quality E down here. Rolled a 9, and that still wasn't good enough. Oof. Vehicle sensors on the tank, engine off the tank, bay door is going to be a bit. Failed to get the either arm on the Wolverine, so we're going to try again tomorrow since that was all of their time. The Mackey's going to be 11 days before its roll, I believe. Emperor is going to be, what is that, 7 days, 8 days, something like that. I don't feel like doing it in my head. Warhammer is going to be 6 days. We're not doing those reloads. Those arms are going to be tomorrow job. Okay, so that seems to be it for the repair bay for now. Sensors, bay door, those are works in progress. Refits are all works in progress. All right, let's try again to get the arms. Well, actually, how much longer on Earl? Earl is back in action. Okay, so we've got Mariana and Tonga Lance both ready to go. We can, Tonga Lance is already deployed, but we can have Mariana's Lance scout here. And you'll notice that I'm scouting from, like, for example, this hex to scout these 3 hexes, because if you scout from this hex to scout these 3 hexes, there is a chance that you'll stumble upon a battle that day. So I'm trying to avoid that. I would like to have at least a day's worth of notice before I go into battle, because that means I can have Chris and Lonnie try again to put the arms on this bloody Wolverine. Scorpion should be done tomorrow. Scorpion should be done in a couple of days. Okay. So we're getting there. Sensors, bay door, gonna be a while. We got both arms on the Wolverine. That is great news. Tonga Lance is ready to deploy again. So how about we go here? I was trying to explore 3 hexes. I think I failed to do that. Penny can start on this. And we'll go ahead and make all of these times 4 so that we can have green and regular text working on those. We'll accept the autocannon. We'll have Tamalika do that on the 4. Veronica has more XP, so we'll do that. We'll have green text doing actuators per usual. We'll have maybe a regular do the ammo bin on a 3. Sure, why not? Nabala is our ammo reloader for now. Alright, so we should have some things coming together tomorrow, which is Friday. It's already been over a week. Jeez. Alright, the guillotine is steady dropping in quality over the course of time. Sensors, the bay door off the Scorpion, did that get removed? Yes, that got removed. We got the lower arm and the hand actuator on the Wolverine, so that should be out of the repair bay. Yes, the only thing left is the Scorpion. So we should be able to deploy, well, we are deployed. So that'll be tomorrow, that'll be whenever I get around to it. Which, honestly, it's tempting. My OCD does not like having partially reloaded ammo bins. But that is what it is. I'm willing to put up with it for the sake of potentially surviving an ammo explosion if the timing is right. The sensors, Amelia? Oh, Amelia's only spending 70 minutes a day on that. That's why. So that's going to be another couple of days. No big deal. No sweat. We'll have Mariana Lance scout here. Oh, and there's a hostile artillery base. Now we could go and attack that right away. And that is, in fact, capture or destroy designated facility in hex 00. So that is one of our 4 objectives. The victory point count is going to be a little tricky. We're going to have to wait for a randomly generated mission with a liaison, because this is a liaison contract. So every week there is a chance that we'll get a liaison mission, which is good for contract victory points, not strategic victory points or scenario victory points. So we'll need one of those to finish this contract. And then obviously the second objective is going to be the one that keeps us from finishing the contract early, because it is straight up maintain control of it until the end of the contract. But give us another 3 days or so. Would anyone like to volunteer to be a part of the force that goes and attacks that artillery base? We've got random guy in Mariana Lance, along with 3 of the founding members of the unit. Or in Tonga Lance, we've got Varank, we've got, oh, don't remind me. Okay, you can remind me. We've got Tsubasa, we've got Lark, or we've got Silent. Was it Silent Endus? Yeah, Endus. So it was Silent, Lark, Tsubasa. How many volunteers do you need? Technically just 1 lance. And since you're basically in this lance by yourself, if you wanted to volunteer, you could volunteer Mariana Lance. Whereas for Tonga Lance, against that base, I would want at least a majority of these 5 people, so like 3 of them to volunteer. So it's, to answer your question, it's a little situational. If you capture the artillery base, you'll have a chance of having allied artillery in future missions. Yes, that is true. And it is a double-edged sword with the way artillery works. That said, Princess is a bit better at handling artillery than I am. I'll volunteer so I don't get shot by artillery, or all volunteers. Okay, that sounds good. As soon as Mariana Lance comes back from this deployment, which will be 3 days, I'll go ahead and do that. Scorpion's going to be 2 more days. I think that's because once Earl captures the artillery, he's basically hanging out there. No, not necessarily. Once we capture the base, it'll be a friendly base. And then we can continue scouting this area for enemies. Honestly, we don't have to do that, but I'm going to choose to do that. Okay, we'll have the Scorpion off the roster, and that is the only thing giving us that warning. So 1 more day. Seems like a good idea to capture that artillery. Absolutely. I'd rather capture it than not, first of all, because then it's on our side and not against us. As sketchy as it may be with artillery, I'd rather have it firing at the enemies, because then it's more likely to hit the enemies than us. Marginally, maybe, but definitely so. That, and we can't successfully finish the contract until we capture that artillery base. So that's also kind of important. We did salvage the vehicle sensors off of that Scorpion tank, which means we can now sell it for the cost of basically the ammo bin that we couldn't pull out of it. Mariana Lance, I think, is still 1 day away from being able to redeploy. However, Tonga Lance, we'll go ahead and deploy you here so that we can pick up 3 more hexes. And then tomorrow, we should be able to start on that artillery base. Oh, tomorrow... Wait, what? Defend grounded dropship is today. When did this pop up? Oh, our rear echelon has been pulled into a base, or a mission. 30 turns to prevent a grounded dropship from becoming crippled. On a moonless night in a moderate gale on a 0x0 map. Somehow that doesn't seem quite accurate. Do we have maybe an idea of where or when that occurred? Was that a Monday roll that I missed? I was going through the days really quickly. All right. I tell you what. Give me just 1 second here, real quick. I need to take a 2-minute break. I'll be right back. Okay, I do appreciate your patience. Let me just, there we go. I don't know if you were here earlier, but I've been streaming for basically most of the last 6 hours, so I apologize if I needed to take a quick intermission. This Warhammer, what is going on with this Warhammer? Why was it not in the repair bay before now, I wonder? I mean, it's not... It wasn't deployed. I don't know why that wasn't there before. But we will go ahead. We'll send Mariana Lance here. Wait, I did not mean to do that. Okay, so lost my train of thought and screwed things up as per usual. Defend grounded dropship. That's going to be in addition to our artillery vehicles from the rear echelon. That's also going to be, I guess, Tonga Lance? Tonga Lance is deployed. Tonga Lance cannot do that. That will be Galatea Lance. Player forces, we'll assign that. Because I don't know where that mission came from or when it appeared. But the artillery base, that's going to be Mariana Lance. And we've got almost 6,000 points of allies. That's a 3-3 and a Wyvern, a Grasshopper, a Crusader, and a Marauder. Nice. Enemy turrets, including 2 Long Tom turrets. Those... You know, we might just end up destroying this base instead of capturing it. Because, honestly, I don't want those turrets on the field while I'm trying to take out this garrison. Or these enemies. These oh so numerous enemies. That's what? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 lances. I'm tempted to actually save scum this and deployed both lances there, even though technically we're not supposed to be able to, but 4 lances seems like a lot. Well, we've got 1 reroll, Fortress City, Heavy Urban, Clear Calm, Daylight. 3 hardy turrets and 4 arty vehicles. Yes, it's going to be an interesting challenge. Federated Commonwealth, Allied Forces. They're going to be blue and yellow. Actually, let's do blue and black and yellow so that they're a little more distinct from our units. The base turrets, we're just going to go ahead and make them pink so they stand out nice and brightly so we know what our objectives actually are. The artillery garrison. Go ahead and make those brown and red so they also stand out pretty well. And then the primary up 4, we can go with something maybe a little more subdued. Something like, I don't know, gray and green. Now, our allies are deploying on round 5, which is... I mean, it's better than like round 7 or 9 or whatever. Oh. Oh, we have reinforcements on round 5, but we also have allies that are starting in the southwest. We're starting in the southwest, our allies are starting in the southwest, all the enemies are starting in the center, and our reinforcements are arriving in the northwest. What am I doing? Federated Commonwealth. And we'll do, how about this black and yellow? Sure. And with 30 minutes left in the stream, we're going to go ahead and... Actually, do we want any rerolls? Do we want any rerolls? Do we want to reroll the terrain, perhaps? Heavy Urban, Fortress City. Do we want to make it darker or foggier? Or do we just want to re-randomize the terrain? I'm thinking I'd like to actually... Because, I mean... Let me think about this for a second. We probably want it dark so we can sneak on them. Sneaky snake. Okay, you know, I think I like the sound of that because, yeah, they've got a 3-5, a 3-6. Everyone else is 4 or worse. Whereas we've got all 3s and 4s. So I think darkness is going to work in our favor, yeah. So we'll go with planetary conditions. We'll shift this to dusk dawn with our 1 reroll. And that'll just give everyone a blanket +1 to hit. Alright, we have, our team has won the initiative, but within our team we have lost. So our allied forces are actually going before us, or after us, I should say. Let me see here. I can put this there. Put this under the chat box, I guess, sort of there. So if they're deploying in the center, excuse me. Let me think here actually for a second. We've got 4 avenues heading straight north. We've got 6 avenues heading up at an angle. Oh, I needed that. I don't know if you can tell the difference in my voice, but I needed that cough. Sneaky Atlas. Yeah. I've always set the Atlas up going this way, right here. Oh, and our Wyvern decided to deploy next to us. We'll have our fastest mech coming up this way. We'll have the archer, I think, starting here, and that way we can kind of come up into this region and start blasting north along these roads. And the Orion, I think I want to start here. Okay, we have eyes on 1 medium mech already, it looks like. Our team has won the initiative. Within our team, we have actually won against our allies, and our reinforcements aren't on the field yet, so that's kind of moot. Oh yeah, offboard artillery. We don't know yet what is going to... Oh, okay. There's a prowler there. There's a grasshopper there. Alright. Oh, and there's a marauder on our tail, too. Fortunately, it's a friendly marauder. Let's go ahead. We'll have our Atlas advance to here, and that gives us... I don't think he's going to be in range of anything but the LRMs. Extreme range, which is basically a no. That's medium range. On a prowler. Yeah, I think it's important to keep moving our maximum distance every turn if we can, because they have too much artillery for us to be standing still. And a javelin. Not quite in short range, but yeah, medium range for everything. Minimum range for the LRMs. We do have the heat sinks to fire all of it, which is nice. Go ahead and have the archer advance as much as possible. The Steiner Scout Squad, the sneakiest of Atlases. We are not doing recon. We are not scouting. We are here to just destroy and demolish. We've already done our recon. Harasser flanking and turning. Locust running and turning on pavement. Both of them successfully. Okay, so the Marauder is firing probably PPCs at the Javelin. What does he need? He needs 12s, and he's overheating to do it. We need 11s, which is still not great. How does that work out? 3, 4 for darkness, 5, 6 for running, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11's not great, but I mean, there's no reason not to just fire everything. The archer does not have any targets. No targets, none at all. Yarvik has 9s on the trebuchet with the large laser. And 15s on the locust with everything else. And the sneaky, sneaky Atlas. Oh, needs a 14 on the Thumper. That's not gonna happen. Needs a 14 on the Prowler. 15 there. 13 there. So none of that's gonna happen. The only thing we've got then is the LRMs. And those on a 9. Yeah, we'll go ahead and fire those on a 9. Alright, the Marauder missing on 12s. The Orion hitting the Javelin on an 11 in the right arm with an autocannon 10. Nice. And one of the medium lasers to the leg. So that Javelin is hurting a little bit already on turn 1. The Harasser missing on 10s. The Assassin missing on... There's an Assassin. Missing on 10s. The Wyvern landing 10 LRMs on the Prowler to the front and left side, costing it a movement point. Wolverine missing on his 9, Prowler missing on a 10, Trebuchet at the Wolverine landing 12 LRMs to the right torso and left arm. Atlas landing 12 LRMs on the Thumper, immobilizing it on the left side and hitting it in the front for 2 points, leaving it with 62 armor remaining. Even immobilized, that thing is going to be a tough nut to crack. And do we kick the Harasser on an 8? We've got a 4 piloting, so yeah, we'll do that. Even if we miss, we're not likely to fall down. And we did not in fact miss. We instead kicked it in the front and destroyed it. The Harasser is no more. So everyone's not built. No one's building up heat except for the Marauder is at 7 because Marauders tend to run hot. Our team has 1 initiative, but within our team we have lost. We're at 99%, and the artillery garrison is at 94%. Primary F4 is at 95%, and we haven't even got our reinforcements in yet. This mission is starting off really well. Oh, they've got infantry. Let's start with, I guess, Yarvik here. We'll come up here, and if nothing else, has a shot on this Vedette. But more importantly, he can control these intersections a little bit. Next move, I think, is going to be... I think I'm going to get this archer, try to get him up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, next turn we'll be able to lob a bunch of LRMs at that immobile Thumper. 3, come on, anything but Snake Eyes. Really, you can do it. Yeah, I mean, he already landed those LRMs and that was on a 9. Yeah, we'll move up here and maybe kill this Prowler this turn. And Petra is going to get into medium laser range of a Wasp, which hopefully is going to just obliterate it. Everyone succeeds on their piloting checks. Thumpers and artillery pieces. Hardened buildings taking all kinds of damage. Terrain taking all kinds of damage. Federated Wyvern takes 5 to the right arm. Okay, so this is where they're shooting at. I mean, they seem to know what they're doing. Oh, Petra is suddenly in a target-rich environment, with no fewer than 5 targets in front of her. 9's on the Jenner. 8's on the Wasp. Yeah, let's try and knock that Wasp out real quick. And then, do we have any targets for the LRMs? 12s, 13s, 12s. Maybe I could. 119, not gonna knock that building down. And actually, let me put everyone where they belong. Put them in their place. All right. 12s on that wasp. Is there any reason not to? I don't think so. We might get lucky. We might. Who knows? Archer still has no targets this round unless blocked by terrain. Yeah, no targets. That's a shame. Yarvik at this Vedette on a 9. Or the Assassin on probably an 11, I think. We'll go 9, and we'll go 11. And we'll be heat neutral because I don't think we're going to hit anything. Random guy on the Prowler with 8s versus 7s for the foot platoon, 7s for the thumper. Ooh, that is tempting. 10s on the javelin. This thumper, how much damage do we need to do to it? We need to do 38 points of damage to its left side. So we'll go ahead, we'll try to land the autocannon on its left side. And the LRMs are just kind of gonna go everywhere. Alright, the Jenner landing a medium laser on the Orion's center torso, leaving us with 31 armor. The Wasp missing on 11s. The Orion only landing medium laser on the Wasp's left arm, but going internal anyways. The Marauder firing at a building for 15 points of damage, and I guess that's a cooldown turn for him. Javelin missing on 12s. Grasshopper also firing on a building, 1533. The same building. Hitting it for, looks like 25 points of damage, 30 points of damage. Let's see, the Vedette hitting our Wolverine in the chest with an autocannon 5. So far, we're just tanking everything they're dishing at us. The Wolverine missing on 9s and 11s. The Assassin missing on 11s. The Prowler at our friendly Crusader hitting with 6 LRMs to the left and center torso. SRM 6 turret missing on 11s. The Wyvern hitting the building, was it 1533? Was the one we were shooting at? Yes, hitting the same building with a large laser, 2 SRMs and 6 LRMs. Griffin missing our Orion. Atlas missing with the big gun, but landing 2 medium lasers and 12 LRMs. Hitting the left side for 10 points, 12 points. Hitting the front for 10. Trebuchet missing on 10s. The LRM 5 turret landing 3 missiles on the Grasshopper's head, forcing its first consciousness check. Crusader at the Prowler hitting with 9 LRMs to the front and left side. And then 15 more LRMs, costing it 2 movement points and a total of +6 to his driving skill rolls. So he is not going to be flanking and turning on pavement anytime soon. Petra would very much like to kick this Griffin on a 7. Archer does not really have a target. Yarvik doesn't really have a target. Maybe if I had torso twisted, I would be able to get a punch in, but I didn't think of that. And Earl trying to kick the Prowler on a 7. On a miss, he is very likely to fall down because he is a 4-6 pilot. If I'm not mistaken, right? If I'm not mistaken, there we go. Yeah, 4-6 pilot. Alternately, we've got a 6 on these people, but I would only step on 2 of them. What do you think? Can Earl do it? On a 7, that's better than a coin flip. But there's also a pretty high chance he would fall if he misses. I'll give you a second to respond to that. But in the meantime, I'm leaning against it. I trust Earl to make the kick. Then we will try the kick on the Prowler. Oh, and that was a successful kick. 20 points of damage to the front, destroying the Prowler completely. The Orion missing the kick on the Griffin missing its punches on the Orion. Orion stays standing. So again, another turn well in our favor. So things are going quite well for us. We continue to win the initiative with that +4 bonus, which is kind of sick, to be honest. We're at 98, almost 99% of our forces. Our allies are at over 99%, and we've already brought them down to 92 and 89%. So yeah, things are going quite well for us. Thumper will land in 0 turns, Sniper will land in 0 turns, which means that we better haul butt. Where did those foot platoon go? I did not see where they went. I do not like that. Well, first of all, we're going to have... Earl is going to get into short range of this Thumper. Hopefully we can destroy it this turn. We had been planning on bringing this Archer to here to unload on that Thumper as well. Which hopefully is not going to put him where the artillery is landing this turn. Petra, do we want to get as close as possible to this assassin, which is fairly evasive, but not as evasive as he could be. It's also going to give us a shot on this Wasp, if nothing else. Or do we wait for this Wasp to go? I think we do. Yarvik. Yeah, we're gonna come up here and maybe try to immobilize this Thumper. At a walk. Okay, not what I was hoping for. I really wanted to try to get into that hex. But I'll take what I can get. We'll be behind the Saladin, which is the best place for it. Hopefully this Marauder doesn't get hit. Everyone passed their piloting checks. Long Tom hits hardened buildings, heavy buildings, terrain. Mobile Long Tom hitting terrain for 50 damage. Jeez, that's sick. And the Crusader takes 5 to the right leg. Thumper hits a bunch of terrain. Thumper hits a bunch of terrain. Sniper hits a bunch of terrain. Some of these buildings are going to be going down soon. Alright, starting with that autocannon 20. Thumper on a 7. Wasp on a 10, no. Vedette on an 8. 3. That was the left side. Yeah, that was the left side. Yeah, let's try and destroy that. We'll build up 3 heat on a 9, sure. Petra at the Wasp needing a 6. Oh, that's nice. Alternately, we got back shots on the Saladin. That's a big gun we could get off the field. Yeah, 7s aren't as good as 6s, but that's an autocannon 20 we can take care of. And we can secondary target this Vedette and still be under our heat budget. Let's go ahead and fire some 4s at that. And we'll throw in a couple of 6s too, since we can. And Yarvik. Thumper on 6s, 7s, 9s, 9s. So yeah, we'll take the 6s. What do you think? That's 10, 18, 19. That's 6. We'll do like this. Yeah. All right. So Thumper missing the Atlas with both machine guns. Foot Platoon missing the Marauder. The Marauder hitting the Wasp in the left arm with a PPC, transferring into the left torso and stripping it down to 3 armor. I'm happy we're doing this. Me too. Hopefully we finish this mission nice and quick and easy. And then the rest of the contract goes smooth sailing because the enemies have no forces. They're already at low morale. Let's see, the Jinn are missing, the Wasp hitting the Wolverine with an SRM to the right arm. Thumper hitting the Atlas in the left arm with a machine gun. Atlas at the Thumper, hits it in the left side with an autocannon 20, follows that up with 2 medium lasers. Thumper is no more. SRM 6s are wasted. Stinger missing the Marauder. Grasshopper hitting building 1532 with a PPC and a bunch of medium lasers. Vedette missing the Marauder. APC missing the Marauder. Orion at the Saladin hits it in the rear with the autocannon, destroying the Saladin. That's an autocannon 20 that we don't have to worry about. And 15 LRMs all hit the Vedette in the right side and the front, costing it a movement point. Thumper hits the Atlas in the right arm with a machine gun. Was that the same arm? Just out of curiosity. I lost it. That's no big deal. Okay, so the Atlas takes 2 to the right arm. SRM 6 turret missing the Marauder. Wyvern firing small lasers and SRMs and LRMs at 1533 and hitting with looks like 14 points of damage. Saladin misses the Marauder with his first and only shot. Vedette missing the Wolverine. Wasp hitting the Orion with 2 SRMs to the center torso and right arm. The Archer at the dead Thumper is wasted shots. The Assassin at the Marauder missing on 10s. The LRM 5 turret landing 4 LRMs on our Archer to the left torso and center torso. The Crusader hitting building 1532 with 24 LRMs, bringing it down to 91 construction factor. The Griffin hitting the Marauder with... Griffin missed the Marauder, but the Marauder still takes 9 points of damage to the left leg and right arm. I'm guessing that was an LRM 10 from somewhere. Wolverine at the Thumper hits it in the right side, and 3 SRMs all to the right side, but failing to get anything juicy. Petra. There's no way we're going to take this building down, and we can't target the Wasp, but we might as well put some family out of house and home or something. We will try to kick this Thumper on a 2. We can't do anything to the Wasp. Can't do anything to the Thumper. Oh, we can kick this building. No, we're not going to do that. The Orion kicks the building successfully. The Wolverine kicks the Thumper in the left side for 12. The Wasp fails to punch the Atlas on an 11. Roll to Snake Eyes. Wolverine and Atlas are both at 3 heat. Our allies are building up plenty of heat. The coolest of them is the Marauder at 4 heat. The Assassin's at 5 heat. The Jinner is at 6. We have won the initiative again. Within our team, we have also won the initiative, so we will have the last move on the board. We're at 98%. Our allies are at 98%. The OP4 is at 76 and 82%. We're cool running. Yes, yes we are. That's just how I like it. I like to have just enough of a heat budget to where we don't have to worry about it over much. Long Toms are both landing in 0 turns, as well as the Sniper. Oh, Long Tom just disappeared. Can we chase him down or something? Can we? I think he might be around here somewhere. We should be able to control 3 streets from this hex, so we're gonna go ahead and do that since we only need a 3 to get there. And yes, we did find that mobile Long Tom. And hopefully we'll be able to immobilize him this turn. That would be glorious and lovely. Petra could stand still and wail on this locust, which is not super evasive. Let's see. Random guy also has a target in the form of this vedette here. How tall is this building? Would it be? Oh, we'd be able to see this javelin from here as well, and then kick the vedette. I like that. How evasive is this javelin? Jumped 5, TMM 3. Plus a walk, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'd need 8s. If we hit that javelin with pretty much anything, he's toast. Petra, yeah, we'll go ahead and stand still as well. And Yarvik, we can flank this assassin, but we can't get behind him. He's relatively evasive. Or instead, we could come over here and harass this APC. SRM 6 turret, Long Tom turret. Ooh, so many options to choose from. I get the feeling this Wasp is about to get wailed on by that Marauder. No. Puts the SRM. Well, we don't have eyes on the SRM, do we? Right, 9. Yeah, actually, I think it does have eyes on us. Can we walk there? No, we can't. Oh. Okay, that gives us no one in our back arc and a shot on the vedette. Archer needs a 3, gets a 9. Locust needs a 4, gets an 11. Alright, heavy building takes a bunch of damage. Hardened buildings take a bunch of damage. Long time. Oh, no. Wolverine takes 5 to the rear. Would have been a head hit, but hits the leg instead because of edge. Thumper gets hit as well to the front, costing it half of its movement points. Sniper hits the enemy Griffin in the right torso and right leg as well. So this artillery is doing as much good for us as it is for them. We've got 6s on this locust. Even with its low profile, we should be able to do some good work here. 6s. And then the LRM on a 6 as well? Yes, please. Archer at the Long Tom on 11s. We'll fire one of those, but it's mostly going to be lasers. Yarvik on this vedette on 9s, or the Thumper on 8s, or Trebuchet on 8s. Let's see if we can immobilize this Thumper real quick. We'll build up 3 heat with the medium lasers and the SRMs. Oh, wow, that's a lot of arrows pointing at random guy. He was not evasive this turn. We've got the Javelin on 10s. Got the Stinger on 8s. 9s there. That's going to be 8s for the Stinger. Really? I'll tank it for the team. I mean, he is the one with all of the armor. And hopefully we can take out this Stinger. All we need to connect with really is the autocannon, but everything else could be gravy. And the LRM-5 turret is also... What do you need? Come on, show me. 7s. 20 LRMs for coming at him on 7s. Alright, Thumper hits the Atlas with a pair of machine guns to the left and center torsos. Marauder shooting at a building. Foot Platoon shooting laser rifles at the Atlas for 6 damage to the right leg and the center torso rear. Locust at the Orion hits with a machine gun to the right torso. Orion at the Locust hits it in the left leg, critting its foot and a heat sink. Medium laser to the right torso, medium laser to the right leg. 3 SRMs, nothing spectacular. And the LRM-15 hits 9 missiles to the Thumper's right side, leaving it with 19 armor there. The Jenner at the Orion hits with 2 SRMs, costing us an edge and dealing 2 damage to each arm. The Wasp at the Orion hits medium laser to the left leg. Stinger at the Atlas hits with a machine gun to the left arm. Grasshopper shooting at a building, down to 43 structure. Thumper at the Wolverine missing on 9s. SRM-6 turret on the Atlas hits with 8 SRMs. Left arm, center torso, left arm, left leg. Left arm, center torso, left leg. Left arm is down to 24 armor. The Archer at the Long Tom hits with, looks like, all 4 lasers to the right side with all of them, costing it a movement point, and 3 to its driving skill rolls. Javelin missing the Atlas on 11s. Vedette hitting the Marauder in the left torso with the autocannon 5. Wyvern shooting at a building, it's down to 75 structure. The Vedette missing the Crusader. The Wasp missing the Marauder. The Wolverine at the Thumper hits it with a medium laser to the left side, costing it half of its movement points. LRM-5 turret hitting 3, 6, 11 LRMs on the Atlas to the left torso, center torso, and left arm. And then the Crusader taking 5 LRMs to the legs. The Assassin getting a lucky hit with the medium laser on the Atlas's right leg, critting the upper leg actuator, and then a single SRM to the left leg. So I think the Atlas is probably going down this round. He took well over 20 points of damage and a leg actuator hit. And his piloting was a 6 to begin with. Crusader firing LRMs at the building, down to 26 construction factor, and killing the crew. So that's probably still going to be a target for Princess. We'll see. The Griffin missing the Atlas on 8s and 11s. The Trebuchet landing 15 LRMs on our Wyvern, friendly Wyvern, to the left torso, right torso, and right leg. Atlas on the Stinger, landing the autocannon 20 to the right torso, destroying it, transferring into the center torso, critting the engine, but missing with everything else. Earl does indeed fall, takes 5 to the right arm and 5 to the right leg, needs a 9 to avoid damage. It's a shame Purple Hearts don't stack, because that's another wound for Earl Sinclair. The Stinger stays standing, the Locust stays standing. Petra, can we kick the Locust? On a 4, I certainly hope so. Yarvik on the Thumper, can we kick that on a 4? Again, I hope so. The Wasp missing its kick on the Marauder. The Wyvern kicking the building that has no crew, I believe. Grasshopper kicking that same building for 14, leaving it with 3 structure. Orion kicking the Locust in the left leg, destroying it, transferring into the left torso, destroying it, transferring into the center torso, and critting on the engine. That Locust is ejection worthy. The Wasp kicking the Orion in the left leg for 4. Marauder kicking the Wasp in the left leg for 15, destroying it, transferring into the left torso, leaving it with 2 structure. Trebuchet kicks the Wolverine in the left leg for 10, leaving us with 4 armor. Wolverine kicks the Thumper in the left side for 12, leaving it with 13 armor. Orion stays standing. Wolverine needs a 5 because it was kicked, gets a 4, takes 6 damage to the right leg and right arm, needs a 5 to avoid damage, gets a 10. Wasp was lost a leg, takes 2 to the center torso, and its first consciousness check. Locust lost a leg, takes 2 to the center torso, makes his first consciousness check. Okay, so we're all running pretty cool. The Wolverine is at 3 heat. Our allies are running a bit hotter, 2, 3, 4, 8. The Assassin is at 8. The Stinger is at, Assassin is at 5. Stinger's at 5. Griffin's at 7. Yeah, the enemies are all running fairly warm as well. We have won the initiative for round 5. Oh, that's deployment phase for round 5. Our reinforcements are arriving this turn. And then within our team, we're going second. Bunch of stuff going down. I don't know if you could see that. It went by really quickly, but a bunch of phases just happened. That was a deployment phase and direct fire phase. Good stuff. Let me see here. Random guy, you're down to 2-3 movement profile with that busted actuator, so standing up is going to be all you're going to be able to do. Which means you're most likely going to be taking artillery fire. Oh, they're coming from up here, so they've got a little ways to come before they get into the meat of the fire. Archer Thumper at a range of 6. I like those odds. Petra. I mean, can we just back up to kicking distance of this vedette? Yeah. Alright, Yarvik. Can we maybe move over here? 145. That is a lot of building to chew through. Alternately, we could just get up and attack this Thumper that's already hurt. No. Need a 5. Oh, that's a Wolverine. I was thinking that was the Orion for some reason. Okay, yeah, so we made that. And random guy. You could run to get out of the hex that you're in, but you'll only be able to go 1 hex. That's gonna be a 7. Wow. Oh, but we got it. We got it. Wasp tries to get up on 1 leg and falls, takes 2 to the center torso, needs a 5 to stay conscious. Locust ejects, as is prudent. The Vedette, reckless driving, needs a 5, gets a 5. Wolverine needs a 5, gets a 9. Atlas needs a 7, gets a 9. Lots of 9s this turn. Long-time artillery hits buildings. Sniper artillery hits buildings. Okay, well at least they didn't hit us. We'll go ahead and shoot this Vedette in the back with like everything, because we got 6s on him. And then LRM 15 on 8s on the Thumper. Got a call, been watching and not able to type. Well, that's cool. Chat's been kind of going off a little bit anyways. So it's cool. I'm glad to see, you know, the engagement. We got 6s there, 7s, or 7s on the Stinger. We'll fire all 4 lasers at the back of the Stinger. on 7s, yeah, there's a good chance that we'll mess him up good. Yarvik, you're also, well, are you trying to shoot this Wasp maybe? On 8s or the Thumper on 6s? We'll go 3, 6, 10 on the Wasp on 8s, leaving us at 2 heat. Random guy, you've got 6s on the Griffin. Please, please land that autocannon 20 on the Griffin. That would make my day. 6s with the LRM, or the SRMs. Sadly, no good target. Well, hold on. Don't tell me, tell Earl. Sorry. I think it's because I've got your username as his call sign, is why I mess up the names. We'll keep one of the lasers quiet. We'll fire the SRM, and then that gives us the LRM on an 11. On a 12. No, I liked it better the first way I had it. Earl is going to have a talking to if he misses. On a 6, I'm really hoping that he does hit, but it's not guaranteed, and I understand this. It's just the way it is. Alright, let me try one other permutation. We'll go autocannon, laser, laser, SRM. And maybe we can build up 3 heat on an 8 for this Vedette. Yeah. Alright, Thumper missing the Atlas on 10s, the Marauder hitting the Wasp in the right arm with the PPC, destroying it, transferring into the right torso, and the autocannon 5 following that up to the right leg, the medium laser to the left torso, destroying it, transferring into the center torso, critting on his engine, medium laser to the right arm, transferring into the right torso, leaving it with 3 structure, critting a heatsink and a jump jet. So however much heat the Wasp built up to this turn, he's going to be adding 6 to that at the end. Foot Platoon missing the Atlas on a 7, Foot Platoon missing the Phoenix Hawk on an 8, Orion at the Vedette hitting it in the rear with the autocannon 10, hitting it in the turret with a medium laser, 3 SRMs to the rear, right side, and turret, but not getting any crits, and 9 LRMs at the Thumper hitting it in the rear, costing it a movement point. A Jenner on the Wolverine hitting with 2 medium lasers to the left torso and right arm. The Wasp missing the Wolverine, the Phoenix Hawk missing some broadside of a barn. Grasshopper hitting the building with a PPC, causing the sniper to jam for at least 1 turn. And a medium laser as well. 2 medium lasers. A Thumper at the Wolverine, landing a machine gun to the head, costing Yarvik his first consciousness check. The Archer at the Thumper hitting the right side with 16 LRMs, costing it a movement point and stunning the crew for a turn. And then hitting it with 12 more LRMs, also all to the right side, causing it to be stunned for a total of 3 turns. And then a medium laser at the Stinger to the head, causing him to black out because he rolled snake eyes on his consciousness check. And then following that with a medium laser to the left torso rear, medium laser to the center torso rear, critting the gyro and the engine, and then a medium laser to the right leg. So it is going down, and it's going down hard. Javelin missing the Archer, the Vedette missing the Crusader, the Phoenix Hawk hitting the Long Tom in the right side with a large and a medium laser. The enemy mechs are getting messed up. Yeah, they really are. This darkness is definitely working out in our favor. It really is. So good call on that. The Vedette landing an autocannon 5 on the Atlas's left leg and a machine gun to the right torso. Wyvern hitting the building with 14 points of damage. Wolverine at the Wasp hitting the right arm with a medium laser, destroying the right arm and the left arm with SRMs. Let's see, the Long Tom landing 2 machine guns on the Archer to the left torso, rear, and the left arm. The Griffin at the Long Tom, our allied Griffin, stunning the crew for 2 turns with a PPC and some LRMs. All 3 of his hits were the right side critical. Nice. The Assassin missing the Archer, the Griffin missing the Atlas, the Crusader missing the building. The enemy Griffin hitting the Wolverine in the center torso with a PPC, leaving us with 10 armor there. The Trebuchet landing 2 medium lasers on the Atlas to the right leg and right torso. Atlas. Earl. Missing the autocannon 20 shot on the Griffin. Needs a 6, gets a 5. As well as the first medium laser. The second medium laser hits the left torso. 4 SRMs to the center torso, right leg, and right arm. And then that rear-facing medium laser to the Vedette's front. The SRM 6 turret missing 3 times on 7s. The LRM 5 turret hitting the Atlas with 7 LRMs to the right arm and right leg. Uh-oh, Earl. Yep, gonna get a talking to for missing that autocannon 20 shot on the Griffin. Allied Shadowhawk hitting the Long Tom artillery in the right side with the autocannon, immobilizing it with a shot to the front with a medium laser, and then following that up with a medium laser and 2 SRMs to the right side. Wolverine, that's what, Yarvik? That's Yarvik, right? Yeah, that is Yarvik. Yarvik needs a 6 to stay standing, gets a 4. Oh, yeah, of course it was right here as well. Takes 5 to the arm and 1 to the center torso rear critical, which does not crit, fortunately. Wolverine is really getting hurt. Yeah, it's taken a significant amount of armor damage, but I think we'll be okay for at least a little while longer. Atlas needs an 8, gets a 9, stays standing. Way to go, Earl. Stinger automatically falls because the pilot's unconscious. Could have gone down and destroyed itself if it had fallen on its center torso rear, I believe. He's going to need a 5 to wake up. Petra is going to kick the Vedette in the back on a 4. Archer fired all of his medium lasers, so isn't going to be able to punch, doesn't have dodge, not going to be able to do anything but kick the building. Random guy, sorry, Earl, should say, is not going to kick the building. The Assassin misses his punch, the Orion kicks the Vedette and destroys it, the Shadowhawk kicks the APC and destroys it, the Marauder kicks the Wasp in the right arm, transferring to the right torso and destroying the Wasp. And the Phoenix Hawk kicking the foot platoon, killing 1 guy. Alright, going into round 6, we've built up a little bit of heat with the Archer, up to 5. All of our allies are at 3 or better, some of them are at 7 and 8. Enemies are all running really hot. I'm seeing some 11s here. And our reinforcements are at 3, 1, 6, and 0. Going into round 6. Hoser missed another bug smashing. Yeah, Hoser wasn't in on this one. This is Mariana Lance. However, I have got 2 hours and 20 minutes on the timer. So what we're going to do is we're going to save game. And that's going to be RD base. I'm sorry guys, physical limitations are starting to be a thing. I'm getting a bit stiff and sore. Play for another 10 hours, I wish. Sadly, I don't think I would be physically capable. That's what we're going to do. Sorry guys, this is where I'm gonna have to call it. I appreciate you all joining me. Thanks for coming. Thanks for sharing this adventure with me. We'll pick it up again next week. we'll pick this game up next week. We're also going to be playing, obviously, Hairbrain Schemes tomorrow. But in the meantime, I would like to wish everyone a good night. Thanks for joining me. Like, comment, follow, subscribe, join the community. Link to the Discord is in my bio, all that good stuff. Yeah, and we'll see you tomorrow if you can make it. Next week if you can make it then. Whatever works for you, we're happy to oblige. So, everyone have a good night, and we'll see you later.